Not so fast.
Oh, what's wrong with me?
All right, you're clear. The adjutant's expecting you. Go on through.
Yeah, huh? Something on your mind? No complaints here.
I admit part of me expected you to stand by your old friend. For better or worse, Wells was responsible for putting you back on your feet. That said, he's also a wanted criminal. For information regarding his whereabouts, you are entitled to collect a reward from Percival. I understand you've infiltrated the Ministry. The things you discovered there must have been shocking, even disturbing. Halcyon is on the verge of a total systems collapse. The truth is ugly and difficult to accept, but we must accept the truth before we can move forward. Malnutrition is already a problem. Disease will come next, followed by starvation, followed by a breakdown of society, followed by extinction. I know this must come as a surprise to you. I imagine you have questions.
Is that why we were suffering plague in Edgewater? Malnutrition? All those folks sick and dying, and you knew why the whole time?
Yes, Miss Holcomb, we knew why. We've known for some time that Edgewater was dying. The colony itself is dying. The suffering you experienced in Edgewater, the disease, the starvation, will soon spread across Halcyon unless we act.
What's in this for you? There's gotta be an angle. There always is for people like you.
I appreciate your skepticism, Dr. Fenhill, but I'm not doing this for any personal gain. My angle is the preservation of our colony by any means possible. Nothing more, and nothing less. I won't pretend the truth isn't damning. Yes, the colony is on the verge of collapse, but there is a way to save it. I'll answer however. The Lifetime Employment Program is not some malevolent strategy of an evil mastermind. There's no dark secret buried in the program is logical. It's reasonable. Byzantium is the beating heart of our colony. And as long as Byzantium survives, help me execute the Lifetime. We've already crossed the point of no return. The collapse has already begun. This is a permanent famine, Captain. A famine is a problem. Before you interfered in Roseway, Dr. Anton Crane was on the verge of developing a powerful appetite suppressant. It would have made his career. The solution is a temporary one. When you turned Phineas Wells over to me, I knew I could rely on you. And you deliver results. That quality alone is enough. Do you know how many meetings I have to sit through? How many papers I have to sign before I can make one decision? I can't save this colony alone. When I first discovered the truth, I was shocked, even disgusted. I wondered how we'd allowed but the more I thought about it, we have become lazy and decadent. I admit, I occasionally fantasize about making Do you have any idea how much paperwork is involved in ordering someone's execution through the usual channels? We need to talk about... You handed Edgewater over to a band of dissidents. I can't have this. Adelaide McDevitt and her people. Edgewater needs to go. I want you to wipe the...
I get that you board types are all about efficiency.
I'm asking your captain to amputate a rotting limb from the collar.
You're a monster.
Someone Now is not the time for half measures, Captain. You replaced a loyal, if hard-headed. These people are dangerous. Because we were negligent. I'm not asking you to be a murderer.
Yes, you are.
Don't fool yourself. Graham Bryant... Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be, Captain. I'm disappointed.
Here they come! Bring them down! Sign up for this! Who's ready for more?
Oh. I'm guessing we're gonna have to shoot our way out. Well, might as well loot the place.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a...
Better now. They wanted me to kill the colonists, and now they're dead. Enemies. Alright, ladies, let's rock and roll.
Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, they're sharing a drink upstairs.
You ever notice how our crew's a lot like that crime family from The Masked Marketeer?
Then Nyoka is...
You remember Kneecaps? Big square-looking bruiser, prize fighter, drinks like a fish. That's Nyoka.
You know, I think she'd like that. And what about me?
A scion of Byzantium turned to banditry? You've got to be the Masked Marketeer.
You killed the adjutant? We are outlaws in the truest sense of the word now. We've reached HRS-1084, Captain. It's emitting a very weak docking signal. I almost mislabeled it as normal etheric static.
as the grave in here. We should get the power generator going again. Might cheer up the place.
Oh, I see you have activated your holographic shroud, Captain. Excellent. Becoming indistinguishable from an authentic UDL trooper will prove advantageous to your current situation. A UDL vessel has been tracking our position and just recently docked with the station. They are patching into the station's transmission lines now. I cannot stop...
I've been waiting for this day since we tagged your ship in Cascadia, Captain. Wait, who are you? No one told me we had security forces afoot on the station already. Roger that. Just as a precaution, I'm sure you won't mind if we turn on the station security systems. We'd hate to leave this location. That should have been fixed by now. As you say.
The UDL gunship is undocking from the station. They appear to...
Nice. I've never been great at de-escalation. Step lively, Captain. Floor's got teeth.
Huh. Where did it go? Where did it go?
I can take a hint. Job done. We can go home to the ship, right? I've been missing Ada Pierce.
Wait, Chartrand? We've seen that name before, back in Cascadia.
A reminder to all crew members. There is only one toilet on the ship. The groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark. Captain, I wish to offer my commendations for convincing the UDL's gunship to leave HRS-1084. I did not favor the idea of being stripped and sold for parts.
Finally, a base of our own. Soon we'll have eyes on... I heard about that. While my lawyers scratch their heads wondering how we deal with human salvage, I'm leaving the researchers in hibernation. Aside from the automated security, did you meet any resistance at the station? I knew it. They've been shadowing us since Monarch. I've been less than honest with you. Your assignments were... After the Monarch job, I started connecting the dots. I didn't like the picture. Then what we found at Station 1084 confirmed my... You and I have stumbled onto something big. Maybe the world. Ask yourself why a skeleton crew was studying that Alta Vitae gas in secret. No. Before we go any further. You call that an open mind? Aliens. I'm talking about aliens. They're the ones responsible for the deaths at 1080. Hear me out. I'm saying it's aliens. I'm not asking you to like it. I'm not
Well, at least she doesn't expect us to
This doesn't feel at all.
The crew is skeptical. That's good. I don't want you walking into the unknown with blind... If we're gonna see this conspiracy, this is an invasion of our very selves. No kidding. When I lined up the evidence in my spreadsheet, sharing my findings. Probably nothing to worry about. Dr. Chartrand is the crooked psychopath behind the gas experiments. She sold out her species.
You don't even want to know why for?
This keycard will get you through the front. By now, the other side knows what you're doing. Don't trust any.
Are we gonna get in trouble today? Not that I want to. Just seems to happen around you, is all.
CNP burst pockets can be microwaved in 2.5 seconds. Burst pockets.
This is Halcyon News.
Hello. Welcome to the office. How might I assist? My sincerest apologies, but... regretfully, that name does... Now, if you have nothing further...
A reminder to all crew members, there is only one toilet on the ship. We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
With that.
It's not gonna fix itself. Incoming! Don't mess with us!
Cleo's level head. Feeling a little off balance? You need a level head.
I only wish they weren't showing.
Okay, let's see what kind of trouble I can get into.
Nice thing thing about traveling with the captain. We meet all sorts of new people.
Sure, best part is when they pay us.
We never really had new folks before, except the captain. It's kind of hard to make new friends when everyone's already decided they don't like you.
Could be a favor in disguise. A lot of people out here ain't that nice.
Hmm.
This reminds me of... Oh, never mind. That's top of the line equipment.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? You're in my...
If anyone ever tries to off me, I hope they do it with the same professional courtesy.
Hagen. I've never heard of her.
That's a gentlemanly way of putting it, Cap.
This is utter nonsense. I've never even been... What happened to the team? Tell... Small consolation. My team, the finest minds of their generation. We were trying to prove that the colony could survive the crisis bearing down on it.
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond...
You can write me up in your report. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but... The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Not for lack of trying. I wouldn't allow us to experiment on convicts or... I'm desperate. One of the two Earth Directorate assault cruisers, assigned to patrol the Halcyon system. It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that...
Imagine losing something with that many...
How'd you lose half a pair of ships like it were a sock?
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace. I'd prefer if you didn't use my name when you talk about this. My contract has a list of very terrible... Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off Halcyon.
Knowing what the board considers a success, that doesn't give me a lot of hope.
You really think the board got our best interests at heart? I mean, they say, but I'm just not sure.
We haven't made enough strides to advance the plan. Hardly. You came to kill me. If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for the one on the wanted posters? I'll do it.
Doctor!
What choice do I have? What kind of scientist would I need to get out of here. Phineas can contact me when he's ready to work together. For now, I'd better pack up the lab.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned is... Give me one reason why I should let you walk out of here alive. Wrong answer.
Halt. All beginning security.
Here we go!
Time for a drink?
Hey! Oh. I guess, never mind then.
Incoming transmit.
Dr. Ellie, you ever wonder if maybe we got some things in common?
This isn't another thing about wrenches and guns, is it?
Because you're a surgeon and I'm a mechanic. We both fix things, heal them up.
Hate to break it to you, but before I got to Groundbreaker, I fixed more noses than bones. Nowadays, I probably shoot more than I save.
Oh.
Remember that stranger I saw in the square?
Oh!
suppose all that ruckus in Celeste.
Try anti-Cleo. It's better than nature.
Wouldn't it be something
I believe your choice to spare Chartrand would be considered the honorable path, yes? Sublight's money is inconsequential in the face of ethics.
Oh, really?
We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive. If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra too. Or the Sun. The Hope is the Groundbreaker's prettier, sleeker sister. She wandered off and got lost for 70 years, but just recently was found. Also, there are hundreds of thousands of frozen organic life forms hibernating in her hold.
What was that?
Make him regret it!
Begin processing. System error. Hop crude. Error. Paradox protect. Error.
You all right, Captain? I mean, seeing this place again?
Can you hear me, Captain? I have successfully integrated myself into the Hope's comm systems, and am attempting to establish contact with the Hope's more primitive processor now. Would you like me to play a new suitable music selection while you travel to the bridge? Oh, sorry. File not found. That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him. Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling, but it'll do. Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will void the warranty on the skip drive. And also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor now, Captain? Jump-starting the skip... I wouldn't have...
In case I don't get another chance to say...
Admitting a deficit...
ADA. Does your captain seriously intend to do a micro-jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That is what my captain...
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred.
Yes, I am...
You should not be doing this.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now. Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
Oh. I feel like I've been turned inside out. Let's not do that again.
Captain, I am receiving a transmission. Captain, I shall now...
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious firepower to pry me. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate again. The board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of... You fucking pigs!
It would seem the recording... How can I be of... Goodbye. We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Let's go, ladies. What, Mia? Rude.
Everyone all right?
Rude, shooting at me out of nowhere.
Done.
I don't have enough, and
Receiving incoming transmission.
Final stages of the game.
I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you humans put it, air some concerns.
Alright.
Well, folks, I ain't exactly keen on busting into a prison, but riddling bored stooges with bullets does sound like a ride and a half.
Mr. Phineas is just about the only person with power trying to do any kind of good in Halcyon. We gotta bust him out.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain. I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior. Breaking into Tartarus will not be easy.
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out again that's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while. Or permanently.
It's the craziest plan I've ever heard. And I mean that as a compliment.
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now. You're my boss. And I'll walk into fire with you.
I think it's insane, but maybe the colony needs a healthy dose of insanity right about now.
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits. But I couldn't live with myself if we didn't do something.
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain. But there are worse ways to go than dying for a good cause. I'm in.
Let Sam get the grime out. It's what our units do best.
The entire plan is a terrible idea, But I admire your bravado, Captain, which leads me to illogically believe, against the odds, that you will be successful.
If we don't make it, at least it'll be a great story.
Got my trusty tossball stick, got my ass-kicking boots. I'm ready, boss.
Outstanding.
You can count on us, Captain. We're crew. For real crew. That means we got each other's backs. Right?
Never thought I'd volunteer to break into a prison. Seems like your tendency towards risky behavior is rubbing off on me, Captain.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your command, Captain.
Tartarus hell, huh?
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time. Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you, Captain. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me, in the event that you do not return. Understood. If you die or are incarcerated for life, I can generate a new ID for the next captain. I would prefer if you returned, though. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed. I wager it'll take a bit longer than it takes you to lose your patience and storm out of your ship. Look, to be honest, that'd make my job a lot easier. You come out, we shoot you full of holes, and then everyone goes about their... Protocolism. The sentencing of one crime to Tartarus Docking Authority signed... Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker? What the... Pay no mind to that, just have a pleasant...
Transmission terminated. How can I be of assistance?
Boxer. Okay.
The captain did right by us once. Now it's time. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I'm here. Push on, Margot!
We didn't even get our hands dirty.
Oh, cool. Why the hell are you guys? Oh my god, my foot.
Here they come! Nice one! They're on us.
Take him down.
That's the last of them.
Sure never planned on seeing the inside of this place.
This might be the loneliest place in the whole system.
Nice of them to leave us a few options.
Unexpected noise performing in area.
Watch out!
Right.
This is the max level, I guess.
Their mistake. Take your best shot. Imagine being locked up in a place like this. Just the weight of all that stone and steel. It's making me sick.
Real professional.
Nice and easy.
What was that? I'd better take a look.
There, Miss.
Let's go, troops. Stellar Base counting on us.
Wow, not even a scratch! I'll keep it down. My sight!
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
What the hell? Aren't those supposed to be helping me? Me. Prison break.
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
We got the drop on us.
Oh, back up.
What? All right, MSI. I've got one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight!
We made it! I just earned a fine bonus. Waste of company ammo.
Welcome to the Iconoclast, asshole! Time to collect a fine bounty.
We're really doing this, huh? Hope you're right about this, Captain.
So do I.
After all you've done, all the work you've destroyed, all the money you've cost me, your misguided crusade has doomed Halcyon. Idiot! I'm not the one marching. In any other circumstance, I'd admire. How dare you? Thankfully, you're in a prison already. Is that... I fired. In the next room is the finest automechanical purveyor of death ever made. Absolutely.
Take your best shot, asshole!
Halcyon after all.
Get me out of here!
No.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress and killed the chairman just to rescue one doddering old man? You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. Ah, all in a day's work for you, huh? You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original...
You mean we're all alone out here?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where any... We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. When I revived you, I thought you were going to help me save this colony. I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. I'm just the one who set you. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to... We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer. As for Reed Thompson, it was said that he lasted exactly 2 days outside the walls of Edgewater. Years later, a marauder was found in possession of his hat. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with 2 hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, He threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.